Disclaimer: This podcast is for entertainment purposes and contains satire. Discretion is advised.
Hi, welcome to Turning Phrases, where our guests constantly change because we don't even know how to do that correctly. Today, I, Chris, am joined with
Jason
and
Adam.
Adam and Jason are engaged.
Yes, we are.
It's true.
Yes, and Jason is the far smarter and more capable person.
Was this some kind of bootleg introduction?
Yes, actually, let's bring us into what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be discussing bootleg and making up the history because we just don't know. Generally how this goes, we don't know anything. That's why it works. So, Adam, what do you think bootlegging means? We always like to get your opinion on things.
Well, all right, hold on. We need to take a step back. First of all, what are we even talking?
Bootlegging.
Are we talking about bootlegging? Or are we talking about bootleg? Two
Bootleg.
entirely different things. Bootlegging is process of making hand sanitizer in your basement. Bootleg is when you can't afford to watch the new Avatar movie, so you paint your dog blue and you record it yourself.
That's actually, I believe, how the first one was made.
Yeah.
God, what's his name?
So,
James,
are we talking about the one where you're making alcohol, or are we talking about the one where you're making...
We're actually making both.
Oh, wow.
Because I believe that slang is for both of them.
Huh.
What is the name of the person that made Avatar? What is his name? James
Cameron.
Cameron. Yes, James Cameron. Same maker of Dishwasher.
Yeah. James Cameron. That's how he started.
That actually is how he became a film director.
Yeah, that's how he started off.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
Jason, do you want to take us over because we're going crazy? Or do you think of me?
Bootleg. What does it? Wherefore I found.
Yeah. Shakespeare created the lie.
You know, I feel like leg. It's confusion. Is it the boot or is it the leg?
Yeah, speak on that.
Tell us more.
Tell me how you feel about that.
Actually,
back in the day when they think pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yep.
Didn't know whether I'm making it up. I don't know.
Here, I'll make
You're
it up.
making it up. Listen,
this
is
show,
entirely
serious.
Listen, we can't have that. Okay, this is people rely on us.
Well, no.
This is what the word makes me.
I'm a medical doctor, and what I have to say is very important, and we can't just be making stuff up. We have to
Actually,
verify.
I'm gonna back up Jason on this one because well-known fact: bootlegging means when you take your leg, you cut it off, right?
Oh.
And you replace it with a boot, and you just walk around with that.
Exactly.
That's when you're bootlegging.
When you have a boot.
It actually came from amputeeing.
Amputeeing?
Amputeeing. When you cut off someone's leg.
It's extreme. That's an extreme form of golf.
It is a very extreme form of golf. I think that
you really only get one shot.
It's a little better than an albatross, but it's not quite a hole-in-one.
An albatross?
Albatross is golf-related. Albatross...
That's not real.
Listen. Yes, golf is all about birds.
Yeah, they don't play golf.
Sometimes.
Come on now. Look,
if I were to...
the fantasy.
It's a bootleg albatross.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might explain it. All right, so here's the thing. So you can use bootleg to mean fake, or you can use bootleg to mean...
Fake foot?
No maybe foot. That... no.
Bootleg, no foot, boot.
Yeah.
That was my name in high school.
Foot.
Steph...
I think she needs to be restarted.
No. We're going with this, Dr. Adam. Steph, can you tell us how we're wrong and what it means?
Let me save this. All right. Bootleg is for describing something that's stolen, smuggled, or pirated. You can use it as a verb, too, when you're talking about selling something illegal or obtained in a sneaky way.
Kind of like
how
James...
so that version.
Yeah. Kind of like how James Cameron... Yeah.
Cameron.
Had a blue dog instead of a red dog to make Clifford. Rita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it's the fake definite. It's like this is bootleg.
Yeah.
It's not real.
It's like when you're growing up in Bridgeport and you go along. Bridgeport's a city in Connecticut. Never go there. And you're going along and you see
Cool. Shut up.
and you see a truck,
The food is good.
and they have DVDs sticking outside of the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
That's when you go for bootleg.
Yeah.
So you know when you go to those restaurants that are like a hole in the wall, like literally a hole in the wall, the restaurant that you don't feel safe at, but you know the food is good.
Yeah, I've been to
That's
Bridgeport.
Bridgeport.
Yeah.
Like you go to Bridgeport for good food, you may not want to stay long, but the food is good.
Yeah. And you're gonna get offered some bootleg
You can
stuff
offer
there.
some bootleg stuff.
Actually,
Yeah.
You might get offered a boot or a leg.
That's true.
Oh,
And they might have once belonged to someone else, but now they're yours.
but at least it's seasoned and it tastes good.
Yeah, no, I believe that is Bridgeport saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's a well-known fact that bootlegging or bootleg first came from Bridgeport, like 1970s, 1960s.
Yeah.
Fat Albert was around. They were just doing it without that, and they're like, oh yes.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So we're talking about the version of bootleg that means like fake. And what my theory is that, like, okay, so what someone without a medical degree would say is that,
Well, then why are you speaking?
I don't call it fake. I call it a creative interpretation.
oh, I see. All right. Well, you know, someone would say, okay, well, you're saying this DVD is bootleg, and that's related to how they used to make bootleg alcohol.
It's
not
kind of like
real
when you go and you see Titanic pour in some guy's trunk.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't exist.
So I think that's what we're saying. Well, this is more of a value judgment. We're saying that bootleg doesn't mean fake; it just means creative.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that
Creative interpretation.
one would think it was related to when people used to make bootleg alcohol and be like, "Oh, that's fake alcohol, not real." Same way we use bootleg now. That's not the case. I think it's just it's fake alcohol. It's called methanol. Good for you. I'm a medical doctor.
No, you're not.
You're not a medical doctor.
Stop.
Adam's not a doctor. Don't listen to a word he says.
Yep.
Disclaimer.
They're the medical establishment has been trying to bring me down for a while, but they haven't been successful yet.
Actually,
Well, I'm an advocate for that, because sometimes you don't have the need to get the things that you want. So you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bootleg. Sometimes
Yeah.
you need to have a creative interpretation. So listen, kid, sometimes when they tell you it can't happen, you gotta make it happen.
When they tell you your shit is bootleg, maybe you should take that as a compliment.
You should take it as a compliment, because all engagement is good engagement.
would you rather have a Prada or a Prada?
Yeah, party sounds pretty much.
It sounds a lot
fun,
more
right?
fun.
Yeah.
Just saying right now.
Creative interpretation.
Yeah.
So
Yep. But this is the value judgment. We're talking about. We need to address
history.
the
We're
origin
yeah.
of the term, and I think it has been used disparagingly. It's been used. It's supposed to be related to bootleg alcohol. Like, oh, if you drink that stuff, you go blind. As if that's a problem. You want to see this shit? Anyway,
Your vision.
that's what I'm saying.
Things look terrible.
Wait,
Things do look pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why open your eyes?
so people would say that's the origin. What if
what if?
it's not?
So
What if it was just conversion evolution? It just so happens that the reason they called it bootleg alcohol is because they used to put the alcohol in their boot in order to help store it and sneak it away. It was like how you smuggled it.
See, and that's why they call you a doctor.
That's right. But
Not
with
you're just a medical degree.
bootleg meaning fake, that's because people who were amputees, close to what you were saying, they would put a boot over their leg.
Well,
It was just a wooden leg.
yeah.
And it was a fake leg. And so that's bootleg.
It's weird having you agree with me after all these years.
Well, I'm not quite agreeing with you. I'm expanding on it. I'm saying that what I'm
Expound.
saying is that bootleg alcohol and bootleg DVDs have nothing to do with each other.
Bootleg?
And bootlegs, well, bootlegs is the common factor, but the alcohol and the thing, not related.
Because it
Well-
carries such a negative
Yeah,
meaning.
yeah.
We all,
The creative interpretation.
let's
I
be
don't
fair.
disagree.
We call him Dr. Chess, right? Because he got his degree.
yeah.
But as we do know, that was a bootleg degree,
That's a bootleg degree, yeah.
which is just as real.
Which was a creative interpretation of
Right.
doctoral
He
degree.
got it from the
Yes.
Massey degree.
Yeah.
The Massey catalog.
Massey.
Yes.
See, kids, this is why I say you should not give up.
You too can print out a degree.
You too can
From
be
the
bootleg.
You too can YouTube it and become a doctor online.
Yep.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can be just
Disclaimer.
like Dr. Adam Chen.
Your father's gonna be so proud.
Yeah, right?
Your dad's gonna call you up after seeing this episode, like, what did you say on the show?
Yeah, don't
It
worry
took me
about
13 years to get my degree.
Well, he's not bootleg. But
No, he got
that's
the
not
real
true.
one. He got the degree, but
Yeah, he shelled out for
he
the
got it-
skills for the real thing.
he got it from Macy's and not Massey's
Yes.
catalog. I will say, I believe Al Capione, I believe it's pronounced correctly. Al Capione.
What's up, Jeanie?
Okay.
Okay.
So that's what you
Yeah,
were saying that bootleg is from amputees. I'm saying it's also from amputees.
That's why I'm
but
gonna have to change my answer so I don't.
I'm just
agree with
saying
you.
it's what I'm trying to say is that it's not related to alcohol. But
I believe it. Okay, because I can't agree with you. Because I've known you for too long. I'm gonna go with Al Capone. I'm changing my answer from Bridgeport. I'm gonna go for Al Capone made it up.
Okay.
I think he made it up. I think he was real tired of them not letting him sell alcohol because everybody hated prohibition. Everyone.
And he was one of those people that made it happen.
He made prohibition happen or give alcohol to
I
people.
don't know.
He caused
He
prohibition.
was determined to do something by any means.
Professor Chris Ross, will honestly say, because he's a doctor and I'm a professor, and that's fair now, will say,
Neither of them are any of those things. Don't listen to a word they say.
please listen to our
we're
podcast.
bootleg.
Listen to the podcast, but don't listen to these idiots. Is
That's
that better?
fair. That's a much better answer.
No, I mean either
No,
way.
But Al Capone, clearly, he was looking for ways to get past prohibition. He was like, hey, I got this boot here. If I fill it with alcohol, I can just give it to people and say, here's a boot. It's totally real.
Yeah.
Like bootlegging.
It's a boot for your leg. Leg.
Like boot. That's a superhero, I think. Leg boot man.
All right.
Leg boot man.
I don't know if we can say leg boot or bootleg anymore.
I can't. I could
it's
say it
gonna
so
kinda-
many times.
I feel like we're going to be saying it for the 30
You know
minutes.
what, Jason? Let's go to you because Adam and I are stuck on amputees and Al Capione.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, was the boot actual boot? Was it a creative interpretation of the boot?
Could have been booty.
I guess. I mean, I guess it could have been like
Could have been Trump.
wood. I don't
Be
know.
made of wood.
Yeah.
No, like, because in your theory right now, as far as I can tell, we're talking about booties, right?
Possibly.
Booties, but
All right.
you get a fake butt. They have those now.
Okay. All right. So we've established that bootleg comes from.
We've established nothing.
We've established that bootleg comes from someone who's walking around with a boot pretending it's a leg. I think that's 100% correct. We've established that. Question is, how did it catch on? How did you get from that, the origin point, to DVDs?
Okay.
Take it away.
You
one
take it
day-
away.
Well, one day,
When a boot and a DVD love each other very much.
somebody had one leg.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And they lived in Bridgeport, and they put on a Timberland.
I think I know that guy.
Yes. He put on a Timberland boot and a Nike shoe. That's all he had.
Yeah.
And trying to raise money for the other Timberland boot. He found out that he made fake DVDs or creative interpretations of DVDs.
Yeah.
That he could afford another boot. So this is how it happened. So
All right. So they were associated with the guy.
some guy who had only one boot.
Got
I
it.
have an answer. You know how you knew we could find a bootleg?
No.
They would throw a boot over television,
The phone line?
the phone lines. They would throw it over the
yeah.
phone lines. And if you saw a boot over the phone lines, you knew that's where you get some bootleg stuff.
Possibly.
It's clearly the answer.
Could be.
Could be.
He didn't even have a car to sell it out of.
No, he didn't.
Not in those days.
No.
In those days, it was horses. You sold it out of the back of a horse.
Yeah, 1950s are hard. Okay, so it may not have been the 1950s. Sold out of a horse.
It's sold out of the back.
That's how you sell
Listen,
stuff.
they didn't smell very good.
You get a great
But
time
you get
with
your
horses.
DVDs when you can.
Have you played? I'm gonna bring up Red Dead Redemption again. Red Dead Redemption.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it either.
You could carry around so much bootleg stuff in your horse.
So you put a whole lot of stuff in your horse.
I named my horse Dr. Adam after you.
Well, I don't. Okay.
Adam's thinking hard about this. I don't like my name.
I don't like being called Dr. Adam, but I am going to continue to pretend to have a medical degree.
Do you prefer Dr. Chest or Dr. Adam?
Call him Dr. Adams.
Just doctor.
Doc?
Just doc.
Doc McAdams.
Sure. Doc
No.
McStuffins.
Doc McStuffins. That's actually what I was referencing.
Dr. Bootleg.
That's not bad, actually. Dr. Bootleg sounds pretty good.
Dr. Bootleg.
Yeah,
That's the guy. You're going to get the good
that's
DVDs
the
off
good
him.
DVDs.
Dr. Bootleg, because he's got a degree.
Yeah.
I'm bootlegging.
Yeah, he's been certified. You can trust his process.
I am going to be honest, at this point, I'm surprised there hasn't been a Nickelodeon or ABC show about bootlegging.
Dude, bootlicking?
Legging. But bootlicking.
Bootlicking.
Oh, there's plenty of ones about bootlickers. Let me tell you one.
Listen, as a sub, I agree. But as a dom, probably less.
I guess.
I'm just going to say that I'm really surprised Nickelodeon or ABC hasn't been like, you know what subject we haven't touched upon? Dr. Bootlegging.
Nickelodeon, ABC?
Those are the cartoon shows I watched as a kid.
Okay.
I'm too old for Cartoon Network. It didn't exist.
You mean PBS, Chris?
No, ABC had cartoons.
Yeah, like Saturday morning stuff.
Yeah, I'm talking Saturday morning cartoon about
That's
bootlegging.
Nickelodeon.
Uh,
There's some cartoons on Fox.
Like Street Sharks.
Yeah.
Wait, was Street Sharks?
I don't. X-Men was on Fox.
I think Street Sharks was on WB, maybe. I don't
And
know.
there was CBS too.
Yep, CBS. CBS is the crap. No, it's ranking. It goes Fox. Haha! Bootlegging. You have Fox, which is great. And you had bootleg shows on CBS, which are just god awful.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my childhood.
Street Sharks was a bootleg of friggin' Ninja Turtles, actually.
There you go.
And they're all based on SWAT. Mouse SWAT.
SWAT Cats came
SWAT
later.
Cats.
No, SWAT Cats was like 93, bro.
I like to pretend
Never
that
heard.
started it all. You've never heard of SWAT Cats?
SWAT Cats is the bomb diggity.
No.
No.
That's cool.
SWAT Cats actually may have been just bootleg. I'm afraid to go into SWAT Cats. You've never heard of SWAT Cat,
Nah.
Jason?
Never heard of it either.
Never heard of SWAT Cats. Okay.
I mean, I imagine it's a bunch of cats who are on a SWAT team.
It's 2 cats. They are on a SWAT team.
3.
It's a pretty small SWAT team.
No, it started off
There
as
was 2 that flew, but they had their partner. The lady cat.
Oh.
They do drug busts.
Maybe.
Anyway, so there's one skinny one and one beefcake one, and like they have like cool jets and they fight crimes and stuff. It's a really good show. 5 million out of 10.
Yeah, you know how you fight crimes with SWAT Cats? You have a jet. That's all. It had no, like, that's how they fought crime. They had a jet they flew around in. It was a cool
They
jet.
break down doors and stuff and
They broke down George jets.
find drug dealers, things like that. Find the cartels.
To be fair, most of the stuff that we grew up with was actually bootleg.
The first episode, they fight like a medieval like sorcerer dude, just to give you an idea of what exactly we're dealing with.
Huh.
And they fought him with a jet.
That doesn't seem really fair if you ask me.
It's true that, like, it's not really fair, but I'm just...
Well, in the world of Saturday morning cartoons, the bootleg cartoon came on Sunday morning.
That's true.
Remember Bucky O'Hare?
Oh, yeah, I remember Bucky O'Hare.
Is that like the
It was
bootleg
so
version
boot- it
of
was
Looney
so
Tunes?
bootleg,
Or?
you couldn't forget it.
Everything is bootleg. Everything, like...
I feel like we're seeing official things and calling them bootleg, and I wonder if that.
I mean,
works.
Fair.
I'm kind of putting my foot in my mouth because I'm at first
Don't do
started
that.
off saying that
That's what
that's Canadian.
That is yeah.
But
Well,
we really shouldn't say disparaging things about someone's creative interpretation called a bootleg.
we decided early on bootlegging was a good thing, though.
Well,
Yeah,
we did.
it's
But we're
own
also
art
saying
form.
disparaging things about.
Okay, so to be fair, bootlegging, very hard work. People really try to get bootlegging out there. Like, they want to make something that you're like, oh, that's close.
Did you say bootlegging or bootlegging?
I keep hearing bootlicking.
I'm just gonna, you know what? We're just gonna go with bootlegging
If you're bootlegging, then you're really trying hard. Like, you
Yeah.
run out of options at this point.
Yeah,
So you're
no,
bootlegging.
I admit that during my hard times on the street of Bridgeport, there was a lot of bootlicking.
Sometimes bootlegging
Well,
requirements
do.
for that.
To be fair, that's kind of how I met my best friend Pedro, who I did this. I was looking at his boots. It was delicious. I just discussed our editor-in-chief. Poor Steph. Steph took that hard. No, I'm just going to say, I think that we can all agree Bridgeport is how bootlegging came to be.
It's a possibility.
I mean, it certainly is a place where the craft has been home.
Yeah.
To be fair, Jason and I are from Bridgeport. And the most historical thing about Bridgeport is that we will say everything came from Bridgeport. We don't care what it is.
Subway. The
Subway.
restaurant. Became Bridgeport.
You're welcome.
We will claim flight for the longest time.
Yeah,
Bridgeport
it said it came
claims
from Bridgeport.
Yeah.
That's not true, but that's fine.
There's Men in Black lore. Bridgeport.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circuses.
Yep.
We
Yep.
created circuses.
Yep.
P.T. Barnum.
Yep.
We don't take credit for that movie though.
No.
I love that movie.
We
Don't
didn't do
ever
that.
talk smack about The Greatest Showman.
I love the.
Also-
Let's stop talking then, because I don't know.
They did
Every
not-
other word out of
They
my mouth.
nods to Bridgeport in that movie.
No, it had very little to do with Bridgeport in that movie, and it really was upsetting.
Yeah.
I will say though that nobody in Connecticut has taken any sort of risk or having any great creativity since that man P.T. Barnum sewed a fish and a monkey together and called it a mermaid. Bless his heart.
And that's, I mean, if you want to know about the origin of bootleg,
We're about to have it.
I mean, that what else
It's a
could it
creative
be?
interpretation of a mermaid.
Exactly.
All right, you guys.
Hi. You know me from Turning Phrases, a terrible show that you have been watching. And one of the worst things is, we consistently forget to say, like, comment, and subscribe. And the reason that is, because we're stupid. And we will never remember. And that's why we're putting this in here. Because I am a sad sack of shit. So please, remember as you watch our show, feel guilty for us. And like, comment, and subscribe. And once again, thank you for watching Turning Phrases. We apologize for everything.
All right, you guys want to hear how way off you were?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
The term bootleg originated in the 1800s in the Midwest when traders would hide
It's false.
liquor bottles in the tops of their boots while trading with Native
I
Americans.
specifically said it wasn't that.
The term was adopted during Prohibition to describe the illegal production, transportation, distribution, or sale of alcohol.
But what about Bridgeport? It had very little to do with Bridgeport in your statement.
Midwest, dude.
You know, there is a Bridgeport in Illinois.
Maybe
You
that
know
was
that
it.
Bridgeport founded the Midwest.
Yeah. we did that.
We did that.
Yeah.
We did. God bless us. Okay, to be fair, I always thought that, I've always felt like alcohol in bootlegs, that was kind of how I thought, they would carry the alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much knew that was the answer, and that's why I said it wasn't the answer, God.
I thought I looked this up years ago, and that wasn't the answer.
For the love of
For the love of Pete.
For the cows coming home. But I think, God, I'm torn on what I want to be the answer.
Get forced in the mouth.
Don't lick against us in the mouth.
Don't lick a dead horse in
Don't
the
lick
mouth.
a dead horse in the mouth.
That was a special. That will never see the light of day.
That was a Turning Phrases blooper.
That That's another phrase. Light of day.
Light of day.
See the light of the day. I do think though that we have to say that the history you gave us is a complete lie and fallacy, and you made it up. Dr. Adam.
We think that history is bootleg.
He gave us the bootleg history of bootlegging. Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, that's true. That would be appropriate if you gave us a bootleg history of bootlegging. I mean, I'm just saying. It's not that we don't trust you.
Go.
Bootlegception.
So I trust your creative interpretation of it.
Yeah.
But I personally feel it came from Bridgeport.
Yeah. Well, I can't disagree. I think there's only one answer here, and that is to make your own bootleg copy of this podcast.
Phrases turning.
Yeah,
spinning phrases.
I want to see them. I want to see your own interpretations.
Rotating idioms.
Yeah, rotating idioms. Make it happen. Yeah.
Actually,
it's time for these idioms to rotate out of here.
Oh, we'll be doing that pretty soon. So, what do we think? What's the answer? How do we come to this? Is Adam correct about it being an FPT
I think Adam's correct.
I think
whatever the hell he said.
Dr. Bootleg is correct.
Dr. Bootleg's right. It's all about amputating people.
Yeah.
And that's how you come to the conclusion. Anyway, that's us talking about bootlegging.
Non-answer ever.
That's bootleg. Technically, our answer is bootlegging at this point. Because we're giving a lesser answer than what it is.
Yes.
And that is kind of the point of the show.
Yep.
So that's us coming out. Coming out?
That's us coming out. We're out.
Actually, wait, hold on. Bye. Gay. Bye. All came out.
We don't know. Hasn't told us.
Jeannie's the executive.
Where's Diana Ross? Right?
Okay. Anyway, we're going to be setting out now. We had Adam McChest.
It's me. Adam.
Dr. Adam.
Jason.
That's your name?
My name is
It's
Jason.
true.
That was a hard moment for him. And me, Chris, failing miserably. Have a great day. Signing off.
Bye.